I got a product you should know about. Finna have LA County on fire, got the whole hood showing out. A new concept, peep the process. I'ma break it down and put it in proper context. Get a 7-foot map with your set on it. Red or blue, it don't matter, you can flex on it. Long Beach, Compton and Watts, LA, Inglewood, every single block. Might catch a view with your local barbershop. Hang it up at the crib and you getting props. Collector's item for the chosen few. Go ahead and buy you one for the culture like you supposed to do. If you new to the town, you need a good map. I got one better, get you a hood map. Guarantee you it's worth it. Hoodmapsllc.com for the purchase.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jooce Bundles, and this is the sound of hip hop. We back again to another Jooce's ratings. We got half of Slaughterhouse, you know what I mean? Joell Ortiz and Crooked have come out with an album called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. We're going to get into that, and we're going to get into a lot of other stuff. But just to introduce the album, I think it's a better than decent album, you know what I mean? Half of it wasn't so good, and half of it was very good, you feel me? As far as the aspects of it, I would say the lyrical side was there. The sound side was not, you feel me? But I would say the lyrical side was a little more than the sound was not, if you get what I'm saying by that. So, yeah, they just telling their story. That's just basically what it's about. A lot of the songs, almost every song, they're telling their story about, you know, what happened and certain things happened and why they happened and why the group is no longer together. And I heard Crooked, or, you know, Kxng Crooked, say that he just wanted to do this to get it out of his life. So, you know, we're going to jump into the topic, and we're going to jump into the Fab Four, you know what I mean, just to get a few things down the line. So that's what's coming up next. The Fab Four is what's coming up next. So for the first song in the Fab Four, we got a song called Backstage, produced by, I don't want to say this wrong, but it sounds like Hasami. And oh yeah, before we get into that song, I forgot to tell y'all, the features on this album, they only had 3 features: Black Soul, Sly Piper, and Trax Sanders. You feel me? So yeah, I didn't want to leave y'all without that. So, but back to the Fab Four. This song was dope, man. This song, you could tell they really, by this description of their lyrics, they, you know, that they really had love for each other. You feel me? Like this song showed that. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Talk about the backstage times, and I really liked this beat. You feel me? Hasami did this beat, and yeah, you could just tell that. I don't know what it really is. You know, Joe say it's this, they say it's that. I don't know what it really is, but I would say that if you really want to know how they felt in some aspect, I feel like they left true feelings on this track, and this track is to show, like, you know what I mean, whatever differences we had, like, it was times where I did have fun with y'all, or all of y'all, or whatever the situation is. So yeah, just check that out. Now, for the second song in the Fab Four, we got a song called Almighty, produced by Hasami again, if I'm saying that correctly. And man, this song is dope, man. The beat is dope. It sounds kingish, you feel me? And they just up there talking, like, you know, basically how, as far as they skills, how they, you know, at the top of the game and all of that, and, you know, all that type of talk. But it just made for a good song. They both had dope verses, and you know, this was definitely a song that's on point if you're trying to hear a dope song, or I would say more or less, you know, bars and with a dope beat. This is the song to check out. So check it out. So for the next song on the Fab Four, we got a song called Coastin', and it's produced by DJ Payne 1 featuring Trax Sanders. And this just made a like all around good song. It had a nice little, you know, certain type of beat, you know what I mean, like a real smooth beat. It had Track Sanders was the perfect person to put on this hook, and you know they don't have they never gonna come with like whack bars, so you know it just made for a total good song. And you hear some of the story in the song. He talks about how, you know, he heard basically he was talking behind his back or whatever the situation. I don't know, you know, if he really did it or not, but that's just what he's talking about in there. That was Joell, as a matter of fact, and Crooked Eye, you know, he getting stuff off his chest too. And, you know, that's just the whole mood of the album for real, but they tell you certain things in certain songs, you feel me? And this is just what he's telling you in this song. So check it out. So for the last song on the Fab Four, we got a song called Floodwaters, and it's produced by DJ Silk and it's featuring Sly Piper. And this song was different. I don't even know why I like this song, but I know I like it because the way Crooked, you know, rode the beat. But I don't even know why I like this song. It's just a different sound. And it took me all the way up until right now to actually choose this song, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to make sure I gave y'all the best songs. And it was either out of this one and it was another song. I know Heatmakers produced it. I forgot the name, but it was out of that song. And yeah, this song is just a different sounding song, and it just puts you in a different type of mood. But the lyrics is there too, but they just have nothing to do with each other, if that makes any sense. But I don't know. I say to definitely check this joint out. So with that being said, Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse, Kxng Crooked and Joell Ortiz came together, you know, to make an album addressing the situation with Slaughterhouse and what happened with it. As you can see, it's called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. But just to get into the album, man, I'll say for one, I thought the music could have been a little better as far as the beat selection or as far as how they vibe with the music. But I still think I think I said this in the beginning. I still think the lyrics were more above than how much the music didn't mesh with that, you know, if that makes sense. And just to get into it, I would say that you know, it was pretty close race as far as the lyrical scale between Joell and Crooked. I do think that Crooked had a slight advantage on the lyrical scale. I think he was a little lyrically better. And you know, everybody do this. When it's a duo, you know, just like Watch the Throne, just like Capone and Noriega, you know, you always looking to see who is actually better, who actually was the better or the worst person on the album. And I think slightly Crooked was better. And I think it was because a lot of the times, man, and I'm going to keep talking about it, Joell sacrificed a lot, you know what I mean? Times he was supposed to rhyme right, he didn't rhyme right, you feel me? Sacrificing, making it sound unsmooth, making it not as dope. And Crooked really didn't do that at all. But not even just to that, I just think that Crooked just was kind of lyrically, especially his smoothness and especially how he rode the beat and delivered his rhymes, more or less. Because, you know, I'm not going to say they're equal, but they're in the same realm. And with him doing that, I felt as though that he had a little bit of an advantage. So I would say he was the better one on the album. Now, with it being called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse, I thought I was going to hear a lot of talk about, you know, what Joe Budden and Royce did. You know what I mean? I heard a lot of it. Everything, put it like this, everything you really heard when they were arguing and on YouTube is nothing new from that. You feel me? No new information that you're going to get in the rhymes. I really felt that this whole album was more to Joe. Like, I didn't really hear anything that Royce did. I did hear Joell say, if it ain't crooked, then, you know, he cool. But, excuse me, he didn't really say anything bad about Royce. All he said was that I guess somebody put it out there that, you know, bad mouthing him to Royce, and, you know, Royce took that for the truth. But he you know, he bigged him up on his album. You know, he didn't really have any like ill will towards him. You get what I'm saying? But Joe Buttons, man. This whole album was about Joe Buttons, and I don't know, man. And like I said, I wanted to touch on this stuff a little bit, But first, let's get into the album. I'm gonna rate the album, and then I'm gonna get into it. So, like I said, the music wasn't all that, but I would still have to say that it's not a high one, but I'm gonna give this album a B minus. You know what I mean? I think it's still at least touches 80%. You know what I mean? With the bars, I mean, it didn't sound that bad for him not to get I'll give him a B minus. You feel me? I'm gonna give him a B minus for this album. Let me know if y'all feel the same, but I just want to jump into this because, like I said, I don't know any of these dudes, as far as their character, and I wasn't there. But it seems as though their real spat was basically, you know, Joe, Joell, and Crooked say they had deals on the table. They had to get away from Shady because of what Joe said on his podcast. I mean, I don't think it was his podcast. I think it was Everyday Struggle at the time when he said what he said about M's album. M got butthurt, I guess, and was not trying to mess with Joe at all. They say they were trying to wait to get off the label. Then they say they tried to do a lot of stuff. Joe was never with it. He wanted to finance the album, this, and this, and they just said, basically they went and did their album, which was kind of sneaky, but Royce and Joe said, they would have always done the album and stuff like that, and they don't know where this is coming from. So nobody knows who's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows. I don't know their character. I don't know any of them personally. But I will just say this, that if Royce and Joe is lying, that's messed up. And it seems like it will be more Joe because he's the one that got the fame. But that's messed up, and it is kind of stop on the paper. But I will say this. If Joell and Crooked Eye are lying, because they have different sides of what happened. If Joell and Crooked Eye are lying and they just went and just did that album and didn't give them a heads up or anything, and they knew they were wrong, they're more wrong than Joe and them. But I don't know who's actually wrong, but it just seems more or less like, and I'm just using common sense, seem more or less like probably Crooked and Joell is wrong. They got something to gain. Even Royce came to the table and said, I have nothing to gain. You see, they're not even really saying I'm doing anything wrong. They saying it's like this with Joe, and I'm telling you it's not like this with Joe, and I have nothing to gain or to lie about. I didn't get any money or a deal or whatever. So that's what my logic is saying was right, but, I don't know. But in my opinion, man, they need to go at it. You feel me? And I don't mean in a violent or street or killing way. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do nowadays, man. Come on, man. That, I think that'll solve a lot of problems. You feel me? Man, let's get back to, I've missed them Blaze battles and everything. Let's get back to when, you had to have it was lyrical competition, and you had to be able to take a shot or two or send a shot back or two to survive in this game. This is when it was all at the max. Now, if it'll go somewhere other than that, then I say don't do it. But I say, as far as everybody, for one, has always been wanting to know who is the best rapper from Slaughterhouse. Everybody got different opinions. I have never really heard 10 people, most of the 10 people say one person. So this will be something to showcase that. Let's just say they even did all this just to conspire this. It's nothing wrong with this entertainment. That's what a lot of people got to stop doing. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. If they did all that, or if they doing that and going at each other, it don't got to be beef. It's all entertainment. I want to see Joe and Royce come back because you opened your mouth. You feel me? And Joe, well, he don't know, but everybody that really knows me, Joe's my man. You feel me? So you done opened your mouth like they don't lyrically want it. Don't say that and don't come with no bars. Let's have a friendly display of bars. It's gonna be entertainment, and it's gonna make the year dope, because so much good music is coming out. If I didn't, it's out there, man. I just did Elzai's new album, man. This year is a good year for music, and just some friendly competition. If it's over a spat, it'll get all the streams up, and y'all can go back and forth, and y'all can really compete. You feel me? Forget all the dumb stuff. Forget all the fighting. Forget all the shooting, and forget all the the unnecessary bull. You know what I mean? Let's see what y'all got. You feel me? Whether y'all want to stage it or whether y'all just want to send track for track, because I really want to see what'll happen with these type of dudes on this level. That's just my opinion. You feel me? So with that being said, that's where I'm at with it. Hopefully they could no homo, but kiss and make up later. But for right now, you know what I mean? If it's like that, man, get your pen and pads. You don't need nothing else. Like I said, man, I really want to see that. But first, like I said, B minus, right? Yeah, I said that, B minus. B minus is what I gave the album. And I also want to say, this is just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Now that I've really listened to everything, because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people wonder who's the best. In my opinion, you feel me? Joe Budden is the best member of Slaughterhouse as far as lyrically. You feel me? Like, on the first album, he showed out. On the second album, I do feel that Joell was the best on that album. And I remember later, even when I felt like, yeah, what's wrong with Joe on this album? He's not even really on it, this, and this. He later then said that, Eminem wasn't really backing it or whatever the situation was. He said it on his podcast, but I had wondered why he went down. But he was the best on the first album. Joell was the second on the best album. But as of a whole and as of right now, Crooked, he ain't look like he lost a step, and he looked like he's getting better. Joell, he gave this project. I've heard a few other albums, but it's like he's lyrical, but sometimes he sacrifices, and then, the music gets old within the time you're listening to the album. And Royce, I've always thought he was the weakest link. And what I really felt like he showed me with his last 3 projects that I've heard, like the Allegory, the Book of Ryan, and the Bar Exam Part 4, like, he really showed like he nasty and he could make music, good music, lyrically. You feel me? That's how Elzai album is. Go check it out. It's called Zeitgeist. That's how he is lyrically. So as far as with all that being said, I would say that Joell is the weakest link right now. So, you know what I mean? Let's see what's going on. Let's see what it's all about. I say Joe is the best. You know what I mean? And that just goes from me knowing all his stuff and what he's done in his prime. I just think that his last 2 albums were trash, because it's just in my opinion that if you make music for so long, give it to people and they reject it, then you start making different music, which now is different than your prime music. It's different from what you used to making, and you're used to making this fire, but now you're making music to please people and get approved, and it just wasn't as good. I mean, that's just what I personally think. And Crooked I never really liked a lot of songs he's done. I just like to hear his verses. You feel me? So that's how I feel about everything. I hope to hear some bars soon from everybody. You know what I mean? From everybody. Like you said, the whole album was about them. Like, it wasn't like really any. It was probably like 2 or 3 songs maybe that was not about, the situation. And when I say the situation, meaning Joe Budden. So if you're really feeling like something, Joey, you really feeling like something, Royce, friendly competition. Grab your pen and pads, man. It's your boy Jooce Bundles. That's my take on it. It's the sound of hip hop, and we out of here.